Hello and welcome to Course Like Your Car Brochure channel. In today's episode, it's a turn of the Fiat Strada Cabrio. Hello and welcome back, and if you're new to Course Like, we're a car brochure channel here on YouTube looking at cars and brochures from around the world for the 60s, 70s, 80s and 90s and sometimes beyond that as well. So if you're interested in cars and car brochures, please consider subscribing. Anyway, back to today's episode. Yes, we're going to look at this, the Fiat Strada Cabriolet. So let's have a look at that now. And we have had a look at the Fiat Strada before, or Fiat Ritmo as it was known in most places around the world. The Strada name was used in the UK, the US and Canada. And this Fiat Ritmo stroke Strada came out in 78, ran till 1988. This one is a later one though. This would be what's sometimes referred to as the second series or the facelifted Strada. Came out in 1982, and I do believe around about 1982, even in the US, they started calling it the Ritmo. Anyway, the Cabrio, much rarer example really, this a second series Cabrio, and they actually kind of like rebranded it slightly. We've now got this Bertone badge, so it's correctly badged as the Bertone where it was actually built, although it was still sold at Fiat dealerships. Anyway, let's have a little bit of a zoom in on the main image. And here we go, we're zooming. Really nice brochure actually, this one. Really nice cardstock. Very reflective card though, so in some cases we might get a few reflections on there. I can't really help that too much, but a really high quality brochure nevertheless. This particular Series 2 Cabrio came out in 83, I do believe, but it had such low demand. I think it was only around for a couple of years. The Bertone badge on the front there rather than a Fiat badge, although there is still I think on the side here, I think it does still say Fiat, and maybe at the front there we'll have a little bit more of a proper look as we open the brochure. But a nice looking car, nice design overall, I think. Yeah, hard to make out even when I zoom in on that front grille, but the badge there to one side is actually a Cabrio badge rather than a Fiat badge. And then we actually open the brochure up. It's huge, isn't it? This is actually 4 A4 sides of paper, making a very large image, and really it's still like a very glossy, high quality brochure, but you know, a really nice images of these two Cabrios. We'll certainly zoom in on some of these images. We'll start with the text at this side though. So it starts at the top here by saying back to roots. From the beginnings of motoring history, many cars were designed as convertibles. At that time, fascination with the new form of transport overrode all considerations of protection from wind and rain. Later, drivers came to prefer the greater comfort of the closed car, and for a time convertibles were out of favour. Today, technological advances have made such strides in developing the complicated mechanisms of the traditional hood that comfort in the worst weather can be guaranteed. In this respect, a sports car is now no different from a saloon. In addition, hoods are much easier to open these days, and in the Cabrio, Bertone has managed to preserve an amazing amount of luggage room, whether the hood is open or closed. And then on the side here it goes on to say Bertone have developed the Cabrio with the greatest attention to comfort. For example, easy access to rear and front seats can tilt and slide forward individually, folding back on the rear seats. Inertia rail seat belts, head restraints on the front seats, in addition to comfortable upholstered seats and door panels, and a top section with large rear door for transport of bulky loads, as well as skis and other sports equipment. And then it's got some quite interesting little images, and one of the most interesting things actually about the Cabrio version is this boot, which opens very strangely, kind of like tilts forward and then kind of like lowers down to this strange position. Certainly one of the most unusual boot opening mechanisms I've seen on a car. Typically Italian, looks very sort of like different, very unusual, but doesn't look the strongest mechanism I've ever seen, but certainly a very interesting way to open the boot. It goes on to say the glazed rear window has heating elements for perfect visibility in every situation. Finally, the hood cover is in 3 layers, a waterproof seam-free outer layer and an inner layer, which is both attractive and protective. The hood framework is carefully designed to hold flat enough to ensure perfect rear visibility when the hood is down, another safety feature. Finally, the Bertone Cabrio is a super Strada, which means it is one of the best designed and equipped medium-sized cars on the market. Now moving to the main image, let's just zoom in a little bit further. So yes, there is a Fiat badge on there, even though most of the badge are Bertone badges. Always found the sort of handles on these earlier Stradas very interesting. And then these very interesting alloy wheels with a little Bertone badge in the centre. We also get this brown example with this light or white coloured roof with these different wheels featured. So yes, I know you could get these in these light alloy wheels at the foreground, or indeed the pressed steel wheels, which I presume they are in the background. So there were 2 different wheel choices. But overall, a very interesting image of the Stradas in this brochure. Like I say, really good photography as well. Strange how they've kind of like blurred these people out. I don't know if that's with artistic license or was there some controversy of these people being featured. I really don't know, but very strangely photographed in this park type setting. Also these interesting seats, white coloured facing seats, probably not the most practical, but overall they do look very stylish cars, even more stylish than the actual standard saloons. And then as we flip the page around, we get a rear view and an inside view, but let's start with this words at the top here. So it says, tradition of high quality. Bertone has always worked for the top European car firms, Alfa Romeo, BMW, Fiat, Lancia, Simca, Volvo, etc. This close collaboration has made it possible to develop the superior technological process that are indispensable for the construction of highly specialised products, the leaders in their respective ranges. The paint process, one of the most delicate production stages, employs rust-proofing techniques and top-quality paints in brilliant colours, combined with exceptionally hard-wearing protective qualities. Technology. When you want to reinforce a structure, the first solution available is to make the plates thicker or add more to them, but this increases weight and makes brakes and suspension less effective, not to mention reducing load capacities and pointlessly increasing consumption. Bertone has chosen a more sophisticated and far more rational solution for the Cabrio. They have redesigned the chassis structures from scratch and added a sturdy roll bar. An optimal result has thus been obtained by working on all structure sections and so avoiding all the problems mentioned. This technique is also the best possible insurance against rust, which usually occurs when structural reinforcements are fitted to the underside of the chassis. Then we get a little bit of a peep in this particular, looks like a silver example. Again, we can see the Fiat badge there. Quite an interestingly styled seats, aren't they? This is kind of like a grey and black design, and we've also got that rear seat that folds, like it says, to put things like skis in, but I don't know why car brochures always talk about skis. I'm not sure whoever does that, but certainly bulkier loads can be fitted when you fold those seats down. It looks like even when the hood is folded back. And then we get the rear, and then instead of seeing a Strada badge, although I knew I think this would have been the Strada II by this stage, we don't get any sort of Ritmo or Strada badges on here by the looks of it. We get a Cabrio badge there, and the circular badge on the boot is that Bertone badge. And then onto the rear page where it's talking about technical features, so let's have a look at that. So it's a front transversely mounted engine, 4 cylinders, 1498cc, 82 bhp, 5-speed, maximum speed 103 miles per hour, 0 to 62 in 11 seconds. So, you know, not too bad for the early 80s really. Bit of information about the wheels, fuel consumption, urban cycle 30.7. At a constant 56, it's 52.3 miles per gallon. At a constant 75, 38.2. So again, not too bad. And it's got some of the features. Inertia reel front seat belts, tinted windows with heated rear window, hood cover, separately folding rear seats, head restraints on front seats, and other features as the Super Strada. And then we got the colours you could get these in, so starting off with an orange red, which had a black interior and a beige hood. You could also have metallic black with a black interior and a beige hood. Metallic brown with a brown interior and a beige hood. And finally a metallic silver with a black interior and a black hood. We do get a little bit of a glimpse on the interior. Again, I apologise for the reflection, but it's kind of like demonstrating that the wheel is adjustable up and down. But you can see very electronically, aren't they, these Stradas, as they were in the 80s. Glimpse into the engine bay. I think the original Stradas, the first series, actually had the spur wheel in the engine compartment, but I think they moved them for the second generation. And then a little bit of a better look at that seat. We've got a little bit of a address there for Bertone, which is quite nice. And what at the bottom here? No dates actually on this brochure, but we're kind of like looking probably 83, 84 this particular brochure. All we get is this little script printed in Italy. So we've got that little Fiat Bertone Cabrio. Quite a rare car, even in the 80s. You were very lucky to actually get a glimpse of one of these. Now, I guess even rarer. I'm sure there are a few in car shows you can probably find, because being a bit different, probably people did look after them, but not sold in huge numbers. Thank you so much for watching today. If you remember these particular Stradas, please jot it in the comments. Let me know your views and opinions, always interesting to read. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and please do like and subscribe if you've not done already. We'll say, do take care, and we'll see you very soon. Goodbye.